and welcome to this edition of Temple Update. I'm Megan McNerney.
And I'm John Mehler. We begin the show with special coverage of Temple's 2011 homecoming.
It's always one of the busiest weeks on Temple's campus. Homecoming is a time for Owls past and present to celebrate being cherry and white.
Standing by in the newsroom is Dana Stemrich. Dana has full details of the homecoming events that took place last week. How are you, Dana?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you guys? It was a week full of cherry and white events, including the football game and the announcement of homecoming king and queen. But before anyone could be crowned, contestants had to prove their worth, beginning with the homecoming pageant. Updates Wahida Muhammad has more.
Temple's annual homecoming pageant held in McNerney Hall was a night of laughs, talent, and fun. There were 3 rounds for the contestants to show off their school spirit.
They have 3 different portions, the Q&A, the talent segment, and the school spirit attire. Things get very competitive during the school spirit attire.
The royalty court competed in front of a full panel of judges for a chance to win extra votes.
The judges are going to be looking for creativity, school spirit, and a high amount of energy in interacting with the audience.
Seniors Matt Flacco and Aisha Howard took home the crowns. They feel that this part of being on the homecoming court is important to them for very different reasons.
Homecoming is important because it's school unity, and because I really think this school is already and needs to do more of reaching out into the community, and that's what I'd like to do as king.
Homecoming is all about school spirit. This is your chance to show the university how much you love it and a way to engage with the students and sharing your love for the university.
The pageant also gives other students an opportunity to get involved and showcase their talents.
The pageant to me is kind of a way for me to live through the homecoming court without actually being on the homecoming court. I'm not that courageous. I have some talents, but I could never do it in front of 300 students, and I applaud them.
This year's pageant was beaming with Temple spirit and filled to the maximum capacity. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Wahida Muhammad.
What's a better way to start off a college football weekend than with a pep rally? The pep rally and barbecue had to be moved indoors to the Howard Gita Student Center due to rain, but that wouldn't stop the fun. Hooter made an appearance and showed off his DJ skills. The Spirit Squad was also there, and the Diamond Gems dance team performed for the crowd. The students even joined in the fun by showing off their own dance moves, and there was even a cake. The annual pep rally is hosted by main campus program board and student activities. Saturday was a great day for a homecoming game at Lincoln Financial Field. The Owls came out ready to play. We'll talk about the game later in sports with Noel Roby. The cherry and white was at its best. Here the student section is getting revved up for the T for Temple U. And this little cutie cheerleader got to help out the Spirit Squad for the day. As expected, halftime was nothing less than excellent, with the Diamond Band marching, putting on a halftime performance with participating alumni band members. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for, the official crowning of King and Queen, seniors Matt Flacco and Aisha Howard. Congratulations to both of them. And the fun-filled weekend ended with the concert featuring Kid Cudi at the Leah Chorus Center Saturday night. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Dana. North Philadelphia residents have voiced concerns over students moving into their neighborhoods. Councilman Darrell Clark proposed a bill to prohibit new student housing near certain sections of Temple's campus. The bill came up for a city council hearing this week. Updates Liza George has more on the residents' concerns and student reactions.
Temple University has over 30,000 students and only provides housing to freshmen and sophomores. Assistant Vice President Ray Betzer says Temple is trying to change that.
At the corner of Broad and Cecil B. That entire block right now is all walled off and is a big hole in the ground. That huge hole in the ground will, within the next 2 years, become Temple's largest residence hall. And we will have somewhere around 1,300 beds in there.
Opinions on both sides varied on the issue.
This neighborhood was doing fine and actually flourishing, a few decades ago. But now I don't see that so much coming from, longtime residents here.
Student peoples that live on campus, and the ones that live in these houses, they come around. They come around here. Then you got a whole lot of fights out of them. They fight out here.
There's some agreement between students and residents that the loud parties the students held did sometimes get out of hand.
But as far as the parties, need to go down a little bit, So
the locals in the beginning were
fine with it. But then as the year went along, parties started progressing, and students started confronting the locals a little in an uncomfortable way.
Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Liza George.
Occupy Philly activists have increased the number of participants by more than 300 since the start of their campaign. Protesters say this rally is uniting their community and hopes it will bring positive results. Members say they plan to protest until their demands are met.
I think something's got to be done about the greed in America, and I think that the difference between the haves and have-nots has gotten too great, and we really need to change that.
Lou Klein is a national broadcasting legend whose career began right here at Temple University. Each year, outstanding Temple alum in the media are honored with awards bearing Klein's name. I got a chance to attend the ceremony.
The 11th annual Lou Klein Alumni in the Media Awards were held in McNerney Hall to honor media professionals who have excelled in their fields. This year's recipients were producer and director Jane Brodsky-Alcher, sports columnist Bill Conlon, broadcast legend and philanthropist Cal Rudman, and production supervisor of Disney Theatrical Group Clifford Schwartz. The fifth recipient was author Leslie Estelle Banks. Banks passed away in August after a brief battle with cancer. Her award was accepted by family members.
She would have loved this, and she would have loved to have been here today.
The honorees all mentioned how Temple helped them prepare for their careers. Events like these ensure the success of current and future students.
Proceeds of this luncheon go to help students here at SCAT for independent studies and scholarships and completing projects that they're on. So the great satisfaction is in knowing that we're doing good.
The main honoree of the ceremony was Charles Osgood of CBS News Sunday Morning. After accepting his award, Osgood stopped by Annenberg Hall to talk with students and give advice about the industry. He says students should stay focused in this ever-changing business.
There might be a position perfect for you when you get to the point when it would be when you could step forward and be the one to do it. You know, even the home run hitters don't hit a home run every time they get up to the plate. And if you if you feel as if you've got a hit every, in fact, if you do get a hit one time out of three, you'll probably win the batting title. So and the same thing is true in broadcasting.
The list of Lou Klein Excellence in the Media Award recipients that include Robin Roberts, Matt Lauer, and Chris Matthews. Over the weekend, Temple University hosted the 2011 Global Fusion Conference. The goal was geared to educate people on matters regarding mass media and broadcast communication studies. This year's keynote speaker was Dr. Helga Tosori, a professor in the Media, Culture, and Communication Department at New York University. Tosori spoke about digital revolution in the Middle East and a global approach to new media technologies.
And considering how the political itself is transformed today in the face of technology, we cannot separate, obviously, old and new media, just as we cannot separate the virtual from the territorial.
Coming up on Temple Update, Philadelphia plays host to a walk to raise awareness.
And Temple's theater department starts their shows for the 2011 season.
All of that and much more coming up on Temple Update.
Here with this week's health reporter, Charnee Smith. Charnee, you have information about students and HIV testing.
Thanks, Megan. This is something all students should know. Temple University Student Health Services is providing students with free walk-in HIV testing. The test consists of taking a small finger-stick blood or saliva sample, as tests are confidential and results are ready within 20 minutes. Assistant Program Coordinator Molly McKendry believes that knowing your status is important in preventing the spread against the disease.
The CDC recommends that everybody between 13 and 64 get tested once annually as a matter of routine.
The walk-in HIV testing is given every Wednesday from 1 to 4 p.m. during the fall semester. A Temple ID is required. And Philadelphia's Eakins Oval was filled with a sea of red on October 16th for the annual AIDS Walk. Thousands of people were there to promote HIV and AIDS awareness. Updates Eric Fye has the story.
Men, women, and children came together to walk in support of those affected with HIV and AIDS. Over 15,000 gathered in front of the Philadelphia Art Museum to rally for their cause. Among this enthusiastic group were 2 former Project Runway contestants, both living with the disease and looking to share their stories.
Well, I was on Project Runway in Season 8. I disclosed my HIV status after keeping it secret for 10 years.
Jack McEnroth, who publicly announced his HIV status 4 years ago, has an amazing story to tell.
I'm healthy with HIV, and I've been positive for 22 years, so it's obviously very personal to me, and it's a story that I can tell from experience.
This annual event is run by the AIDS Fund Philly organization. Executive Director Rob Reichert spends the entire year preparing for this walk and knows that it wouldn't be possible without the help of all his volunteers.
We had over 700 volunteers who signed up to volunteer, and they're doing everything from taking in the donations that are coming in, working stage crew.
Out in the streets, the air was filled with laughter and optimism, while the harsh realities surrounding the event hid away from the bright sunshine.
There's a silent killer on the streets of Philadelphia, and its name is HIV. Philadelphia is one of the hardest hit regions in the nation, with 50% higher new infection rates than that of New York City.
While the hunt for a vaccine continues, using protection is still the best way to stay HIV-free.
We give condoms. Condoms is very important because, we want people to be protected.
HIV has proven to be a strong adversary, but with so many working to end its terrible reign, the war can only be won. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Eric Fye.
This was a milestone year for the walk, too. They celebrate their 25th year. It's always great to see people supporting a cause.
Yeah, it's great to see Philadelphians getting out and supporting stuff like that.
Yeah, it looked like a great event. Thank you, Charnee. For most college students, eating healthy isn't always that easy, but there is a way to find fresh food right on Temple's campus. Updates Derek Transu has more.
Cecil B. Moore are in for a surprise. A farmer's market will be there so students can purchase fresh and local produce. So what are students buying?
I bought some celery, some cabbage, some peppers, and a nice little whoopie pie. A little sweet treat that tempted me.
Eggplant, zucchini, and onions. Dinner.
Students can find a variety of fresh and local fruits and vegetables at the farmer's market. We asked Temple students what keeps them coming back to the farmer's market on campus.
I really come here because I trust local farmers more. It's a way for me to get fresh produce in the city.
And I really appreciate fresh vegetables. I'm a vegetarian, so I love putting everything in a pan that can possibly fit, and it's great prices.
Kelsey Porter, manager of the farmer's market, says she's gotten a positive feedback from students and staff.
I think that they appreciate the fresh food. And just in this community, the Food Trust also does work with supermarkets, so it's really great that now we have the Fresh Grocer.
So if you're looking for fresh, local produce on Temple's campus, go to the corner of Cecil B. and Broad and find the Temple Farmers Market. Here every Thursday from 2 to 6 p.m. Reporting for Temple Update, I'm Derek Transu.